obviously requires a lot of executive functioning. But this is a president who has fewer interviews, live events, than many other presidents before him.
Hi guys, welcome back to Legendary Heroes Trails of Cold Steel 1.
Remembering things, you know, when he just
let me see. I think we're at the end of the dungeon. Boss fight coming up. Let's see.
To have this examination and release the results, just like they do every single year with this physical.
And real quick, how would that impact an individual's decision making?
Well, certainly, and it is difficult to with level thinking when it comes to some level of cognitive decline. And again, just because you have some level of cognitive decline, all of a sudden you have to retire and you can't perform your job, that doesn't say that at all. But I think the American people do have the right to know what the mental and physical fitness is of their president, and that is something that is we've done that every single year that they release their physical examination. At 81, it's recommended to have, at a cognitive evaluation.
Dr. Sakari, thank you so much. We appreciate your time. Always good to see you.
Thank you. Thanks, Doc.
Thanks, guys.
All right, like father, like daughter. When one small town Georgia mayor decided not to run for re-election last year, his daughter took over him.
We're talking to those two next.
So every day, more dog people are deciding it's time for a fresh approach to pet food. Developed with best, made from real different veggies, portioned for your dog, and delivered right to your door. It's smarter, healthier pet food.
It's so easy to get your windshield replaced using SafeLife. Tell people why you start off as a chip and it just keeps going. So what do we do now? Let's schedule an appointment at SafeLife.com. SafeLife repair. SafeLife replace. Yeah! SafeLife repairs.
Why the fuck is chips?
Nice shot. Fuck, that was a good one.
But don't worry, we've got more than that going for us.
New customers who buy any phone get 2 months of service free when you sign up by July 31st. Call or go online to switch today.
Having access to strong discounts doesn't make you a strong person, does it?
GoVets.com offers access to Druid 1000 but does that make you a ruler? Well, maybe it does. Military, first responders, and government service members get exclusive discounts on highway plans like workout, post up, and radio.
That's that. Let's keep moving.
GoVets.com. More than a deal, it's a benefit you've earned.
Many probiotics don't survive digestion. That means whatever you're taking for your gut probably isn't getting where it needs to go. Seeds DSO1 Daily Symbiotic is the 2-in-1 prebiotic and probiotic engineered to survive, bringing live bacteria all the way down to the colon toward a healthy digestive, skin, heart, and immune system. Get started today with Seeds DSO1 Daily Symbiotic. Visit seed.com to order now.
Vikings building the future at risk. Michael Lumley has exclusive Insight Plus and a Paulina Luna and Hogan America in the Capo live on Sunday morning features with Maria Barbarella.
Not going backwards.
Michael last 20.
I'm going backwards.
He seems kind of imposing. I don't know how to act the ice.
During the pandemic, all of our lives changed. Many of us turned to home drugs. As life returns to normal, the increase in substance use for services report an increase in driving that cause heart rate and devastation. We implore parents to never drive and to encourage all of his family and friends to do the same. Together, we save lives.
When I found out, I was
The wind's behind us. Let's go. Go!
a
I'll handle this. All right. Very well.
Nice shooting.
Following in her father's footsteps after her dad served as mayor of a small town in Georgia for 12 years and decided to not run for re-election. At the age of 20, Brooke Huckabee decided to run for his seat as mayor of the city of Araby and won. That makes her the youngest female mayor ever elected in the U.S. Araby, Georgia Mayor Brooke Huckabee and her father, former mayor Greg Huckabee, join us now. So I love this story because my dad worked on Capitol Hill and politics, so I also followed in his footsteps. So yeah, the story it means something to me. I love it. Brooke, you're 21 years old. You could be out partying. You could be out doing all these different things. Yet, you decided to run for mayor. Why did you make that decision?
Well, it's just really concerning to me how people my age are involved in our economy or politics or any real thing going on in the world. And I wanted to be the one to be able to kind of make that change and take that step forward where other people aren't.
Well, Craig, what I think is hilarious about this is she didn't even tell you at first that she was going to run, so that surprised you. When you found out, what advice did you give her?
Well, let me explain the way that happened.
I like this ultimate, or this special, I should say. It's pretty cool. The golden spheres do some real damage too.
And she's a smart girl, and she'll do well.
Well, why did you decide to not initially tell them?
I really don't. I don't know if I was more or less scared he was going to try to get me to back down, or just kind of the element of surprise with the whole thing. I think I wanted it to kind of be able to sneak up on it.
Craig, what do you think? What makes a good leader in your estimation? What did you learn from your time on this?
Well, I think it takes somebody to step up to the plate to see the needs that are going on in our community and be willing to take a little lead and make some changes.
Brooke, what do you hope to accomplish?
My goal is to just really get the community to start. We've got such a good area that we're in, Cordell and Araby, two cities in Chris County, and I think it's just time for Araby to come.
Think about us older folks, these younger people will be here a lot longer than we are. So, the laws and the rules that are being made today, they're going to have to live with. And, I think it's definitely important that we see younger people get involved in politics. And make it right to see.
Do you hope more young people step up to the plate?
I really do, and just not just because we have a new outlook on things, and it's really time we start caring about the world that we're kind of making for our children and their future. And right now, I don't think too many people are worried about that.
And real quick, what did you learn from your dad, bro, when you saw him?
Well, it's not really what I learned from my dad necessarily just in office, but it's what I've learned from my entire life. And that's just, don't do anything behind the scenes that you wouldn't do in front of everybody else, and just kind of keep your name good.
I think that is sound advice for both these mayors. Thank you so much for joining the show this morning. I'm going to tell you the story. Good luck to you. We're looking forward to seeing what you have to do. Thank you so much. Thank you. Have a great day. All right, a big show still ahead this Sunday morning. You're going to want to stay with us.
Holy shit.
Mike had a heart attack a year ago, but he's still living in the red, with a very high risk of another attack. With his risk factors, his recommended LWOTC level should be below 55. Find out if you're living in red. Learn how to get a free LWOTC test.
In Chicago, we're known for our creativity, and this could be our best creation yet.
My turn. Keep it up, everyone.
I'm excited to announce we're having a huge Ryan Pillow Spring Sale. And here's a few examples. One of our My Pillow 2.0s, and get another My Pillow 2.0 absolutely free. Made with cooling technology, the best pillow ever, just not even better. And this just in, 9 brand new colors and styles of our Mikhail bed sheets. They're made with the finest long staple cotton, and now you can save 50% or more. $24.98. For the first time this year, I'm bringing our My Slippers and Sandals for as low as $25 a pair. So go to MyPillow.com or call the number on your screen. Use your promo code to get your MyPillow 2.0s. Buy one, get one free. Mikhail sheets as low as $24.98. My Slippers and Sandals as low as $25 a pair. And for a limited time, when you order $75 or more, your entire order ships absolutely free.
Here at Legion's Flag Supply, we were sick and tired of flying flags that were made overseas, flags that would rip and tear easily. So we really made a commitment to quality. All of our flags are finished
Together, we're unbeatable.
So using double needle lock stitching.
All of our flag materials are sourced in America, and they are made by American businesses. So we're American made from beginning to end.
Shop now at showallegiance.com.
I'm Marcus Lemonis, and I'm serious about business. The Overstock team moves around the clock and across this country to find you the deals on top brands and deliver the goods. We hunt for factories to work with, closeouts, liquidations, in categories like furniture, home goods, clothing, outdoor collectibles, jewelry, and so much more. If you want it, we have it. When you buy it, it goes from the warehouse to your house. And let me be clear, we are Overstock, and we have the real deal. Choose made using artificial intelligence and the cost design. Now both get to save money.
I got one.
Moving across town or across the country, you can count on pods to deliver what you say you will, which is why we were voted America's #1 container moving company. Book your move today at pods.com.
My family is sacred to me. It truly is all that matters. I was on a war trip when the pulmonary embolism happened.
My turn.
But because I have the factor 5, which showed I have genetic mutation,
It's my turn.
because I was aware of that gene, that saved my life. I would not have been able to meet my new granddaughter. I truly believe I'm here because of 23andMe.
There's a narrative being pushed today that renewable energy is the only answer, that coal is dead, brings no benefits to our lives. To this we say, not so fast. In fact, global coal demand reached an all-time high just last year. And as the mainstream narrative insists only renewables will keep us safe, this is a stunning contradiction. Learn the truth about coal's indispensable contributions to the world at thecoalhardtruth.com.
It's the 80th hour of Fox and Friends weekend, starting with this. President Biden heading to Bathurst, Pennsylvania for more damage control after 2 very bad weeks. As even White House insiders say it's time for him to step aside. Shannon Graham is on deck ahead of a high-stakes week for the campaign.
Well, California gas station owner says years of hard work have gone in the blink of an eye. After a mob ransacked his store, he joins us.
And a new social media app making waves among Gen Z. What parents need to know. The third hour of Fox and Friends weekend starts right now. Never been to the Everglades. I've never
Boss
been to the
fight.
beaches in North Carolina. They look beautiful. So listen,
They're actually really beautiful.
yeah.
I mean, I love any beach. I'm just a beach person. Seeing the water, the ocean, it just makes me happy.
I've said that.
Peaceful.
I've never been to a bad beach.
No, yeah, it's peaceful.
Even they're under storm watch this morning, and it's my home state. But even Texas beaches, I like every beach.
I love the Gulf is superior
I love
to the
beach.
east or west coast. I will say though, as a guy with robot legs, wheelchairs aren't very effective on the beach, legs aren't. I like the northeast beaches because they don't have a boardwalk.
There you go.
We don't have those.
Looks like we are.
Yeah, so I kind of like it.
That definitely seems to
We
be
got
the
Joey and
Yeah.
Lisa with us this morning. Happy to have them
I
both
can
here
see
with
the
us.
sunlight
Glad
streaming
to
in,
have
so
you as well.
I'm guessing we're finally clear.
Yeah. All right. Well, listen, President Biden is set to visit his home state of
Busy work,
Pennsylvania
yes.
today, looking to gain points in the key battleground state.
But it comes as the list of
Considering the
Democrat
school's
leaders
esteemed
calling for
founder
Biden to
was
drop out of
expecting
the
more of
race
a
for
challenge,
and
and nothing here posed even a modest threat.
To even fight the same enemies? I feel like I've been stretched
Biden
my
is pushing on
limits.
with what his
What's all that
campaign
business
says
about
will be
Class
an
7
aggressive
anyway?
travel
Good
schedule
question.
this month,
You've got
despite
people here from
concerns from
different
nearly
backgrounds,
every branch of
classes,
government. And we reporting more than half a dozen Democrats and Congress describe Biden's political situation in stark terms, including heartbroken, doomed, and a disaster. 5 House Democrats have already called for the president to drop out. And at the White House, per the New York Times, one senior White House official who has worked with Mr. Biden during his presidency, vice presidency, and 2020 campaign, said in an interview on Saturday morning that Mr. Biden should not seek re-election.
What the heck
The
is
president
that?
checked in with
A
his
gargoyle
campaign
come to
chair
life?
on Saturday.
What
Delaware
sorcery is
Senator
this?
Chris Coons was on that call, and he says there was nobody among the co-chairs who was recommending anything other than we keep going. Biden was told that he had members of the Senate and the House and governors, and especially donors who had unanswered questions and were unsettled and had concerns. In an exclusive interview with ABC News anchor George Stephanopoulos, the president dismissed some of those concerns.
Do you dispute that there have been more lapses, especially in the last several months?
Can I run 110.5? No. But I'm still in good shape.
Are you more frail?
No, look, I have a cognitive test every single day. Every day.
Monsters like common being not outside of old wives' tales, they
House
aren't.
Minority Leader Hakeem Jeffries is having a virtual meeting with top House
Coming off
Republicans
our only
today
way to the
ahead of their
surface.
return
No
from
choice.
July 4th
We have to
recess
fight it.
tomorrow.
Right.
Well, Lisa and
Finally,
Joe.
an opponent worthy of my skill.
Let's bring in Fox News Sunday anchor Shannon. Good morning, Shannon.
Good to see you, Will.
See you.
This
Let's
might actually be a
start
challenge.
with some of this. So the number of people from various walks of life, from donors to congressmen, seem to be lining up against Joe Biden, asking him to step aside. And it also includes apparently people kind of inside the Biden world, inside their administration. This is what the New York Times is writing, Shannon. They wrote on Saturday, one senior White House official, however, who has worked with Mr. Biden during his presidency, vice presidency, and 2020 campaign, said in an interview on Saturday morning that Mr. Biden should not seek re-election. After watching Mr. Biden in private, in public, and while traveling with him, the official said they no longer believe the president had what it took to campaign in a vigorous way and defeat Donald Trump. The official, who insisted on anonymity in order to continue serving, said Mr. Biden had steadily showed more signs of his age in recent months, including speaking.
Wow, it's got good stats too.
As well as appearing more fatigued.
Very well.
Right. Seems to me, by the way, Shannon, if it's that big of a concern, he should not be anonymous anymore. He shouldn't continue to work for the re-election. He should tell the truth.
Well, in my ways, if this has been going on for months, and many of us have been able to observe publicly, it seems like longer than that. I think it's interesting, too, and a lot of this reporting that's coming out is that people are saying they don't think he has the ability to win the race. That's a different conversation about, does he have the ability to govern? And it's kind of surprising that people are that worried about him, that they aren't having that conversation. He still has 200-some days of this presidency in which he is the commander-in-chief. He's got a lot of international foreign policy hotspots going on around the globe. So it should be a conversation about his ability to govern, not just this question that people have about whether he can win the race. That seems to be what is upsetting people, in the fact that the down ballot impact could be real in their races too.
Yeah, Shannon, I'm not talking about the down ballot impact. I mean, this is someone who apparently, anonymously, still works for President Biden in the White House today. When we look at the Democratic Party, traditionally in the last few years, it seemed like they would give up their principle to win an argument. They seem to, under Nancy Pelosi, they come together and get the vote done. AOC may say something, but she comes in and votes. Now Hakeem Jeffries is at the helm. He's got a meeting today. How divisive is this for the party? You've got pretty big names like Mark Warner come out and say he needs to be replaced, and you have folks like Chris Coons who kind of say the opposite.
My turn.
Yeah, and that's going to be the thing. These lawmakers do have a lot of power, as well as donors, to push public out. It will be seen more of that after this meeting with the top Democrats. As you said, guided by the House's top Democrat, Hakeem Jeffries, today, this conversation. Because when lawmakers worry about their own seats or staffers worry about their own careers, that's when we start to hear about this when there's self-interest involved. But remember, President Biden said in that ABC interview, short of the Lord Almighty coming
Nice shot.
to talk him out of it, he says that what he's hearing from leaders on the Hill, including Lee Jeffries and Chuck Schumer and Nancy Pelosi, is that they are not asking him to step down and that they're with him. Will that conversation change today? Would it keep Jeffries possibly change his public position after this meeting?
You know, Shannon, we're seeing this shape the race. We're also seeing this other aspect shaping the race. The U.S. District Judge Bannon causes several deadlines in classified documents case in Florida against Trump to consider the impact of the Supreme Court decision on presidential immunity. We've seen the sentencing out of New York with the bookkeeping case that has bought him more time as well. How do you see this decision, impacting these other cases and potentially reshaping the election?
I mean, it's big. The potential impact of that is huge, not just for President Trump, for generations to come, but these immediate cases. We're actually with our legal panel today on Fox News Sunday. We're going to talk through every single one of them, Georgia, the 2 federal cases, and also, just look through that New York case. There's already been a conviction. Can it be undone in part because of this immediate decision? Every case is different, and they all have a different impact. But you're right, Judge Cannon in that documents case has said, we're going to pause some of these deadlines in the case so that there can be a full brief on whether immunity counts here. Prosecutors are starting to say the action in that case that we're going after was post-presidency, but she's at least allowing the parties to have a conversation about it. And again, that delays that case.
Shannon, real quick as a follow-up to that, because it'll apply not only to the classified document case in Florida, but the new standard of immunity will also apply to whatever happened in the Jack Smith, Washington, D.C. case. Do you have any sense, and you've read the nitpicks much more closely than I have, on a test? Like, what is the test that a court will use to decide if something is an official act or not, personal act, official act, and therefore whether or not a president has immunity?
Yeah, there's a sense of, is it part of his core executive branch authorities and things that are exclusively his purview under the Constitution for executive action? Now, Jack Smith and probably Judge Chutkan in that case here in Washington are going to say, okay, calling up people to tell them to send for an elector to where the allegations are, they're going to probably argue that does not follow within these executive functions, but that's going to take time and it's going to be a fact-finding situation. You've also got the DOJ out there, leading to, I think it was the Washington Post, that they intend, even if President Trump wins, to continue the prosecution of him through Inauguration Day. So there's a lot coming from Jack Smith on that front. And the fact, too, that Fisher case, which, was for all the January 6th defendants charged with one specific obstruction statute, the court said that wasn't applied properly. And 2 of the counts that Jack Smith has in this case here against President Trump are those counts. So do those go away?
Shannon, there was a certain level of eagerness to Jack Smith trying to get this done before Election Day. It seemed like that was his timeline. How much of that led to this decision from the Supreme Court?
Well, think about this. The court even said in its decision, I can't believe it was just Monday, it feels like weeks ago, because there's been so much fallout and so many headlines since then. They said we can't make these determinations about what are official acts and what aren't because this case was expedited the way it was. We don't have a record in front of us, and so that means we have to send it back to the lower court to make that determination. So in some ways, that pressure to get that decision backfired because it ends up slowing down the case, and the Supreme Court, in its majority opinion, pointed that out.
Jen, I can't imagine you have a boring show today. It's been a holiday week, but it has not been a slow week. Tell us what's coming up on Fox News.
So we've got Tim Ryan, the former Ohio congressman, one of the first Democrats to say President Biden needed to go very quickly after the debate. He's with us. We've also got Byron Donald. He's a VP shortlister, but what does the Trump campaign do if they get a different candidate? We've also got an expert to talk to us about how this works. Are these delegates going to be unbound at some point? Do they have to vote for President Biden? So we're looking through every possible thing.
Shannon will be watching. Thank you so much.
See you guys.
Thanks, Shannon. Very smart and interesting. All right, Fox weather alert. We've got one for you. Texas already feeling the impact of Beryl as hurricane warnings are issued along the state's coastline. You can see rain drenching the streets there. In Houston, as the tropical storm is expected to intensify into a Category 1 hurricane before making landfall tomorrow morning.
Meanwhile, residents in Galveston are under a voluntary evacuation.
Mr. Nachi, rankings for the Fox weather forecast.
Hey guys, so this storm rapidly intensified about a week ago before it hit the island up to a Category 5 storm. It's had a lot of time out across the Atlantic, hitting the Yucatan as well. Now the last stop is going to be the Texas coastline. It will make landfall sometime tomorrow morning.
Okay.
And probably is a Category 1, if not a little bit stronger pressure. Latest advisory coming out, pressure is coming down just a little bit. That's a sign of the beginnings of a strengthening storm, and we've got about 24 hours here of time over water still, and all the environmental conditions now are going to be favorable for intensification. That's why we can go
Just getting started
to a Category 1 storm. That is the official forecast. Notice as this storm pulls a little farther towards the north, we've got a lot of rain that's going to spread inland as well. So today we've got a significant flood threat right along the immediate coast.
That should be the end of it.
The next couple of hours, and then really intensify into the overnight hours.
down, but
Notice
not
tomorrow this extends up across a lot of East Texas, and I just want to show you what's going to happen. Because I think we could potentially be seeing some.
That's one hell of a second wind.
Especially across areas of Arkansas. So while we're going to be talking about the landfall in Texas, you just got to be prepared. The rain is going to be very significant as it extends farther towards the north. So if you're across very interior sections, be looking at potential for some flooding there. All right.
Thank you, Rick.
Thanks, Ray. Meanwhile, we have this story. Despite the fact that student loan repayment programs were paused and then restarted,
You've certainly got some good
President
timing.
Biden's plans have
Seems
been
like you're all
deemed unconstitutional to forgive student loans.
I'm sorry we took so long.
Of
You're here,
the
and that's what counts.
$1.6 trillion in student loans,
I
very
didn't
little
expect
of
to
it
find the
has
dark
been
ages
paid
alive
back,
and well
and
down here.
very few,
Doesn't seem like
roughly
it'll go
half
down
of
easily.
borrowers have
Indeed.
resumed
It's brushing
making
us off that we barely even
You can
scratched
see
it.
there,
With this
20
many of
million
us, we can just find
borrowers
an opening.
took on the task
Fine.
of
I guess
recommitting
I'll
to
help
paying
out.
off their student loan debts. About 19 million simply haven't come back.
Yeah, we had a chance to
Looks
talk
like
to
you
Stephen
started
Ford
the
this
party
morning, the
without
former
me.
Trump senior economic advisor, and this was his reaction.
Releasing limiter.
Who in the future will ever pay a student loan back?
Right shot.
Why if the government's going to keep forgetting people to pay their student loans? The people who are the suckers, frankly, are the people who did the right thing and pay their student loans back. The other point I would make is, look, we're running a $2 trillion budget deficit, and Biden is throwing away hundreds of billions of dollars for people who should pay their student loans, could pay their student loans, and are doing it. And the question is, why should the cost of that fall on the backs of taxpayers? I mean, I think it's outrageous. I think most Americans do it. They don't have national approval to do it, and they don't have Supreme Court approval to do this. So Joe Biden is acting as a dictator to basically forgive people's loans.
Well, of course we know that this is just robbing Peter to pay Paul. And the people you're robbing are individuals who have made smarter decisions than taking on a massive amount of debt for free that might make it impossible for you to eventually pay off that debt that you just took on. But what I think is interesting and highly ironic is Joe Biden obviously made this decision. He's
I
trying to
think
buy
that's the end of it.
right? That's what he's trying to do. Buy the
The future
votes.
doesn't seem like they'll be
Young
coming
people,
back for a
what we see
rematch
at
anytime soon.
polling is that Donald Trump is doing much, much better with under 30 than he has done in previous elections, and some people winning, that vote. And so
Good,
it
Mom.
doesn't work. And I think the reason why is the buying of votes with this, the campaign or the student loan handout that he's trying to do does not supersede the concerns that young people have about, I'm never going to be able to buy a house. It's just too darn expensive. I can't afford anything in this economy. The jobs aren't there for me. And so the irony is you try to buy votes and it's not working.
Yeah. No, it's
Each of us were engulfed in some faint.
it is interesting.
What?
And I think the
I did notice something as we talked. Perhaps it was just the glare of combat, but I felt like I could see everyone's movements in precise detail.
I don't think it was just your imagination.
Stupid are the ones that did what they're supposed to do.
Agreed.
And we've seen that. We've seen reactions. I can't remember last year. There was a dad that confronted.
The biggest selling point of
I think it was
almighty
President Biden.
Arthur?
I think it might have been Kamala
Give this
Harris
man
about,
a prize.
are you going to pay me back? I paid my daughter's student loans. Are you going to pay me back? You can apply fairness to this. When it comes to the government
Friendship and
support
teamwork
system,
saves
fairness
the
is
day once
good
again.
metric.
But it makes people
Gotta
to do
be
the right thing
kind.
feel like the mark.
That's exactly right.
You're
You
the one
can
that
go
got the
to
money.
any social support system, and there are people in similar situations. One decided to, or had the opportunity to, strap down, get it done,
Anyway,
and the other
that
one
about
said,
finishes up
it's
today's
good enough for me.
special
I come from a pretty poor area, and I remember growing up, there were people in my community. It's like if you could get on Social Security disability, that was like winning the lottery. I'm not saying that's what every person is getting
What are we supposed to be
what their
happy
belief
about?
is, but what it should really do, the real answer to this problem is to fix it for the next generation, not
I'll
the
take a
current
stab at it.
generation. So fix it
What
for
exactly
our
is the
kids,
purpose
where
behind
either they
this
can get a
Class
reasonable
7?
education at a reasonable
I get
price,
that it's supposed to
or
be
fix the
some
student
sort of
loans where they don't come in at a
It's
10%
broad
compounding
process.
interest rate.
Well, and that feeling of encouragement.
But why were the 9 of us chosen in particular?
Right? You've got so many Americans who are like, I can't.
That is a valid question.
Groceries on my
There's no
credit card
single
to be
monolithic
able to pay
reason
them
why
to
you
go
all
feed
make
my
a
family,
list.
and then we're
But if I
putting
had
up
to name a major
illegal aliens
contributing
in
factor,
hotels,
it'd
or
be
we're
those
giving them a
Arcus
better life
ordinances
than
out
I
there.
have as an American citizen. So, I think there's a lot of feeling of unfairness with this administration
How
and the
so?
policies, how you're trying to benefit a very
Well,
small
like
group
I
of people
explained
to the
earlier, the
detriment
Arcus
of the
units are
vast
developed
majority of
jointly by the
Americans.
Epstein Foundation and the Reinford Company.
All right, well, turning now to your headlines, so much to discuss on this busy Sunday
And
morning.
these have
The suspected
communication
drunk driver
functionality built
accused
right
of killing 4
But
people
their
after
crowning
driving
feature
into an
is what's
Independence
known
Day
as
party at a
combat
New York
legal.
City park
That's
is
the
now facing
phenomenon we all
manslaughter and
experienced
vehicle
just now.
homicide charges after he
So
was
that's
arraigned
what
yesterday.
that was.
Daniel Hayden faces
like a
at
pretty
least
apt
25 years
It
behind
did feel
bars
like we were all
convicted.
connected somehow.
Police say he hit at least
Precisely.
11 people in
Doesn't take a genius to imagine how
Hayden
much
is
of an
back
advantage
in
a
court
feature like that
Wednesday,
would
and
be
vigil
on
for
a
the
real
victims will be
battlefield.
held tonight at that park in
An elite unit that can sense each other's
And right
movements,
now,
acting in
French
perfect
citizens
sync,
are
even
lining
in
up
the
the
most
polls for
chaotic
the second
conditions.
round of the country's parliamentary
You can
elections.
hardly put a
President
face
Emmanuel
on
Macron
that.
is calling
It
for
would
the
bring
vote
about
after his
a
party lost its
revolution
bid
in the
for
way
European
wars are
Parliament
fought.
last month. The National Rally
does
Party
sound
won the
rather
first round last week,
idealistic.
taking home a third of votes.
Well,
If the
yeah,
National
the
Rally wins
technology
this
has its
election,
limits.
Macron
Some have a
would then
natural
be forced to
aptitude for
name
it,
the
others
party
just
president Lord Cordova as
don't.
prime minister.
And
Results of
out
this,
of this year's
new
fresh
social
batch of bright-eyed
media trend
students, the
called
9 of
peddling
you turned
is
out to have
quickly
the highest
becoming a
aptitude.
popular form of communication.
And
So it involves sending
aptitude
memes,
plus
videos, or
background in
links to
Class
someone as a
7,
way of showing
well,
affection towards others. The trend is
here you
based
are.
off of penguins, as they
Huh.
give pebbles to their mates as a
But
form
what
of
gives us this aptitude, though, as compared to our
Those are your
peers?
headlines.
It seems so
penguin.
random.
That's the new.
I guess so. Have you heard of this?
What
I've never read
indeed?
it.
As promised, if any of you have
Need no
objections to being in this class,
Need no.
speak now,
Well, no, I'm
or
sorry.
forever
Chinese
hold your
number.
peace.
I'll check it out. The commercial rate. Who knew and when? House
I
Republicans are
think that
demanding
pretty much
answers
covers
on
the
Biden's
hows and
apparent
whys of the
decline as
situation.
anxiety grows
But
about
this
the
program
president's
isn't
business
cheap to
problems.
run.
Congressman
So we're
Chip
not
Graham
about to
is
force
calling
anyone
for a
into
House
it if they
oversight
don't want to
hearing
do
on
it.
the issue when he joins
You
us.
should also be aware that Class 7's curriculum will be tougher than any other class's coursework. Just a warning. So now you know. And that leaves you all with an important decision to make. Will you stick with Class 7?
Starting a business is never easy, but starting at 8 months pregnant, that's a different story. I couldn't slow down. We were starting a business from the ground up. People were showing up left and right, and so did our business
If
needs.
you opt out, you'll just be placed in the class you would have been assigned to otherwise.
When you go for something big
There's
like
no
this,
pressure.
your kids see that.
Nobles will land in Class 1 or 2, commoners in 3, 4, 5.
1.5% cash back.
It's still just the first day, so there's no real catching up you'd have to do. I'm sure you'd fit in just fine.
VersaLint, the ultimate attic storage system, presents another VersaLint versatility tip. I never have enough closet space. The VersaLint makes it easy to store my
I'll do
out-of-season
it.
clothes
Whatever
way in
Class
the
7 has to throw at me, I'm game.
When I put on my winter tires, I send my summer tires to the attic.
What?
Just like that?
I thought we
So
needed a
you're
bigger
the first
home.
then.
All we
You
really
seem pretty
needed
sure
was
of
the
that.
VersaLint.
Any
Learn
particular
more
reason?
at VersaLintHome.com.
I just
Go
feel
to
like I've put my family out
VersaLintHome.com and
asking
enter
me to
promo
send
code
them to school.
FOX22.
So, if it gives me more
Hi,
to show
I'm
for my
Donna.
time here,
I
I'll take
love
whatever
gardening.
opportunities
I
come my
love to
way.
go on walks with my husband and my dog,
Noble
and
sentiment.
I love taking balance of nature. It makes me feel sparkly every single day. It's just an
Count me
amazing.
in as well.
I'm
The greater the
56,
challenge, the
but I
more I
feel
can push
21.
myself to
I
excel.
feel so much
One
alive.
can't hone a blade
Balance
without
of
grip,
nature
after all.
is magic in a bottle, and I really
Let's
love
make
it.
it 3.
Get
Considering
50%
how
off
far
your
I came to
first step
attend this school,
order as a preferred
it's silly to
customer
back
and use
down
discount
before I
code
get
Fox
started.
News.
Well, looks like we've got the
I
country's strongest
was
freshman on board,
on a
and
board
our
trip
foreign exchange student too.
Pulmonary embolism
Any
happened.
more takers?
But because I have 23andMe, I was aware that gene
Allow
that
me to
saved
take
my
part as
life.
well. I was only able to come because of the school's
When it comes to
generosity.
shoes, a sleep number
So I
stronger.
feel
Can't keep
like
me warm when I'm cold.
in any way I can.
No, I'm always hot.
Sleep number never does that.
Sign me up too. I kind of
feel like fate brought us here for a reason, you know? You all seem pretty easy to get along with. And that's a yes from our two overstaff testers. Though I feel compelled to remind you, your weapons are still in the prototype stage. So on top of your other work, I'll be expecting reports from both of you. Of course.
Maybe I spoke too soon.
Let me join too.
Huh?
Oh, there's a surprise. I was almost certain your rebellious streak would see you opt out just on general principle.
It does bother me that you've got us using these Arcus units that are still pretty clearly in development. But if I let every little nitpick like that hold me back, I'd never amount to much.
Words to live by right there. And that brings us to an even 6. Now, what about you, Fee?
Don't really care either way. You can choose.
Not this time. This is one call you're gonna have to make for yourself. That was the deal, remember? You need to take control of your own life.
Fine, I'm in.
Well, at least you committed. We've got a magnificent 7 now. Which leaves just the 2 of you. I can see you've got issues with each other, but that doesn't mean you can't at least try to work together. Why, if you just look past your differences and embrace the joys of youth, I'm sure you'll become the best of friends.
Like hell we will! The exploitation of the common people by the aristocracy is a blight on every facet of Argonian life. Unless something is done about it, this country has no future.
I appreciate your candor, but I don't think you're going to achieve much by lecturing me about it.
I've been talking about this for more than a year in my interactions with this president. And when I remember, I have worked with 4 different presidents, 2 Republicans and 2 Democrats.
claim my place as a
I
member
know
of
what
Class
it
7.
is like to have a real moving Oval Office, that you really feel that you're at the center of power of the world. And Joe Biden, you never felt that way. They have known
You're the son of a duke! Just the thought of being in the same class as commoners should make you sick.
For their silence on President Biden's apparent decline, calling it their Watergate.
As far as the House of Alberea is concerned,
oversight
there's a
hearings to
difference
find
between
out
other
who
nobles and
knew
commoners.
about the president's
Besides,
issues
they should at
before
least
the debate.
ensure I won't have fools
Especially
flitting
focusing
about
on
every day
Vice
trying to win
President
my
Harris.
favor.
Joining me now, Congressman Chip
That said,
Congressman,
I
great to see this morning.
drawn
I
into
don't
your
know
petty
that
arguments
former
on a
Speaker
daily
McCarthy
basis.
is being 100%
I think it would
honest
be
there. I
prudent
do
for us to
remember
go
him
our
talking
separate
about
ways.
Joe
Certainly can at
Biden
least
when
agree
he
on
was
this. No.
Speaker being sharp. Now, I just bring that up because I want honesty from everyone on this. This is a national security issue that demands accountability. And I would be curious what you can accomplish, Congressman, in House Oversight Committee. I mean, we need to name names.
Well, great to be on. Look, I think actually Kevin is exactly right. And he did mention in the past the significant mental decline of President Biden. But the key here is that we now see right before us, the entire world saw laid before us, his incapacity. This is a man who has the nuclear codes. This is a man who has to go negotiate with foreign countries, and he's the commander-in-chief of the United States Armed Forces. I don't think this is a tough question. This is why I introduced a resolution calling on Vice President Harris to invoke the 25th Amendment. But it is also why we should have hearings about what did the Vice President what did Joe Biden know? What did the rest of the White House staff know? What did fellow Democrats know? We now know there seems to be evidence that they've had some sort of medical experts, Parkinson's experts, and so forth come into the White House. You've got staff saying that you didn't have a mental exam or a test or a health report or something after the debate. And you've got the president himself saying he did. The president keeps messing up statements even after the debate. This is something that goes to the heart of our national security. There's a reason that we don't have a committee. You'll notice Jay Johnson and other Democrats are now calling on, hey guys, don't worry about it. There's a bunch of people around the president. They're basically saying we should have a president by committee. That is unacceptable, and Founders rejected it. It is deeply offensive and unconstitutional. So we should have hearings on it to get to the truth. Because this is one of the, Kevin's right, this is one of the biggest cover-ups in the history of America. And we need to know who knew it and why they're complicit in it.
I agree 100%, Congressman. I think it's just such a huge issue here. And I don't know. But, I mean, Ron Klain, you name the advisors who had close proximity to Joe Biden that could have told the truth, or at the very least, by the way, not lie about such an issue of such import to national security. But I want to focus in on someone that you're mentioning. I did yesterday as well, which is Kamala Harris. If this is a thing that happens, and we just move on to Kamala Harris as the candidate for president, I don't know that we can do so without holding her accountable for perpetuating this scandal, this cover-up on America.
Well, no, you're exactly right, Will. And as a fellow Texan, you'll appreciate it. My voice is more grimy. It's because I was with Lukenbach, Texas last night for a July 4th show. And I bring that up because a whole lot of fellow Texans I represent Lukenbach, they were coming up to me and saying, Congressman Roy, thank you for introducing the 25th Amendment resolutions. We can't do anything in Congress to actually vote the 25th, but we can speak out on behalf of our people. And they were thanking me for that and thanking me for raising the questions about Kamala Harris. The truth matters. When you seek the truth, you can win, and you can win minds and hearts of the American people. And it's actually better for the country. The American people need to know that this administration, including the vice president, has been lying to them. They have been lying to them about issue after issue, whether it's Ukraine, whether it's the Russian hoax, whether it's the state of the president's mental health. Yes. Go down the way. COVID. They've been lying to the American people. They need to be called out for it. Republicans will do a great service to the country and make sure that President Trump wins and that we can then come in and clean up the mess. But we have a duty to do the right thing here and call out President Biden for lying to help. Kamala Harris, and we should make that clear to the American people.
Lukenbach, for a long time, home of Willie Nelson's 4th of July picnic. So I'm glad you got to enjoy that. Whatever has inherited that mantle today in Lukenbach, great town, great state of Texas.
We're down there in Packard and Cornwall and a bunch of fellow Texans.
There you go. Great. I love those guys. All right. Congressman Chip Roy, thanks so much for being on Fox and Friends.
Thanks, welcome.
California gas station owner says years of hard work are now gone in the blink of an eye after a mob ransacked his store. With police taking hours to respond, he joins us next.
I know this might seem out of the blue, but I agree with you.
Lord, you know it's our lives. You know where we struggle. You know where we need to be pushed. Help us give it all to you. The good, the bad. Help us turn to you in everything we do. I'd like to join you for now.
Thanks for the sideways. Will you do the work? I want to introduce you to the Patriot Power Generator 2000X. Using endless free power of the sun to power lights, the TV, medical equipment, food and other equipment. And that's not gas, means oil. Go to 4patriots.com. Greater solar panel included free. Double the capacity, sustainable clean power, and more out of the diesel and mine. Get the solar generator terminal at 4patriots.com.
Depending on your diet, it may not reach the place
$29.95. But because Joy is so excited for you to use Clean Boss, she insisted we make the deal even better. So we did. Be one of the first $500 and Joy will double the offer. So you get 4 big 24-ounce bottles for exactly the same price. Just $29.95.
How about you get 4 big bottles for every surface in your home? Go to shopcleanboss.com and get Clean Boss now. I love Clean Boss. I'll never use anything else.
Supplies are limited. Order yours now. Call 1-800-718-9664. When you can't watch, listen. Get the latest news, business, and news headlines on SiriusXM. Anytime, anywhere. Fox News Audio on SiriusXM. America is listening.
We're back. This horrifying video highlighting the surging crime in California. Watch as a massive mob of thieves robbed an Oakland gas station, stealing everything they can get their hands on and causing at least $100,000 in damages. The owner says the lack of law and order is worse than a third world country he came from. Sam Larday joins us now. Sam, thank you so much for joining us. I'm so sorry this happened to you, but I really appreciate you speaking out. Tell us what happened.
Well, it was at a sideshow on the street next to us.
Good morning.
And turned
Are
out to
you
be a
heading to school now
disaster.
too?
Once they were done
How
with the
about we walk
show,
there together? Sure.
it turned back to our
It's getting
gas
late though,
station.
so
Just
we might need to pick up the pace a little.
exactly.
No problem.
You know, you're originally from Yemen.
I'm guessing everyone else left already, huh?
Of turmoil going on in it. You called it a third world country, but you said
So.
even there,
I'm not
this type of
sensing
lack of
anyone
law
else
and
on this
order
floor,
doesn't
at
exist.
least. Gaius in particular is probably long
never.
gone by now.
I mean, I
being
see
early
things
rising
that happens there, but it gets to a point where, I mean, you're coming to the States where, you know, law and order actually was everywhere. I mean, my parents, my aunts, my uncles were talking about the U.S. is where the place to be, you know, and then you turn out to this and see something like this happens, and it's scary, you know. It's just, it shouldn't be happening. Shouldn't be happening in a city, in a bigger city like this, inside California.
Come on,
It's
Mama. We're
just
going to be late.
unbelievable.
You know, tell us, how long have you owned and operated this store? I mean, being an entrepreneur is the American dream, and you're being taken away from it. And tell us what the repercussions of this are for your life.
We've been building it for the last 10 months. We have the gas station since August. And we've just, you know, for the first year, we never built the gas station because it's been closed for the last year before that. So, to build that customer base, it takes time. And then, for the last 10 months, we've been doing that. In a matter of hours, 45 minutes.
Class 7's got enough tension as it is.
What has been the response from police, local city leaders? What is it that you want to say to them, or what have they done
I think it would
for
be a
you?
load off everyone's mind if you and Elisa could make it.
There is no response. Yeah, we have a meeting on Wednesday with the chief of police of Oakland. But till this moment, we have no response from them. We got no excuse from them. You know, not even an apology of not even showing up, not even have the courtesy to show up even. I would understand if they came in an hour, 2 hours later after the incident.
These past 2
But
weeks
not
have
till
really
2:30. That's the time they
slowed
showed up. That's unacceptable. I mean, to anybody.
Yeah, I think the policies in the city obviously need to change. People like you deserve to be safe and live the American dream. Sam, thank you so much for joining us, and I hope that whatever comes from this is something positive for you.
part of the curriculum.
Thank you for
I
having
guess
me.
the academic side of things
All
might
right.
give it a run
Radio
for
was
its money.
now admitting that the Biden team gave her questions to ask the
pretty
president.
firmly embedded into imperial culture.
The questions
I
were
do
sent
get what
to
you mean, though.
for approval.
I figured I'd be able to post through the year, but I've had
Okay,
to
so
very
the
quickly
White House sent the
reevaluate
questions to you ahead of the interview.
Yes.
You too, huh?
Tell me, Laren, on the implications for journalism and the scrutiny over the media's coverage
They
of
didn't seem to be
Biden.
having any problems at all. But then, Emma got the top score on the entrance exam. I bet you anything Machias wasn't far behind.
Eustace and Elisa are apparently doing really well too. And I saw Laura and Gaius.
Really? Sandra's gonna have to suck it up then. Though I really do hope they don't mind.
Huh? I'm not sure I follow.
Your mother and I were different.
Which is why we got
You got me
some
thinking about
So we
Eustace and
watched
Laura.
that every
I've been talking to them the same way I talk to everybody
It's really
else,
keeping this
but
family together.
they're both nobles, right? and uses his family rules over the whole eastern side of the empire. So it feels like I should address them more formally.
Joe likes to be.
I really don't know what he said.
Let's not act like Joe. This is my face, Joe
While insurance premiums skyrocket for everyone, we can't afford to let Joe Biden's radical agenda. American athletes responsible for this advertising.
Your Norwegian flags fly. We recently hired flying flags that were made overseas, flags that would rip and tear easily. So we really made a commitment to quality. All of our flags are finished in hard packing at all the stress points, and they are sewn using double needle lock stitches.
All her flag materials are sourced in America and they're made by American. Clear, American made from beginning to end.
Shop now at showallegiance.com.
Do you owe over $10,000 in back taxes? Kevin Sorbo here with an important message. The Biden administration has proposed an $80 billion plan to boost IRS collections. This means they could garnish your wages, levy your bank account, and even seize your property. Tax Network USA, a trusted tax firm, can help protect your income and assets today while quickly
Get along a
settling
bit
your
better
tax
over
debt.
time,
What?
but if
Yes,
anything,
now, why are we
they
still
seem to be
in
spiraling downhill.
Call Tax Network USA today.
When the two of them are in the same room,
When
there's
you're in the
just
military,
this constant
close with
tension
your
in the air.
brothers and your sisters that are in the military with you. And when you get
It's
out
not all
of the
obvious
military,
either.
you kind of lose that.
Yusuf
until
seems
you
to
find
enjoy
that
provoking him at every
we could talk
opportunity.
about our struggles and the things that we did overseas.
I can't even imagine what it
Not
would take to
everybody
make them see eye to eye at this
Hello.
point.
How's it going, brother?
Yeah,
We live pretty close to
there's
each other.
something we could do to help them get
He's
along.
always coming over. When I go to Jack's house, we watch a lot of football, hang out, we go outside. The friendship has kind of grown into a family. I was talking to some vets last week, and it's amazing how we have these houses where they can come over.
And that's where we'd be if we weren't in Class 7.
Very well. Tunnels, towers, they got rid of all that. They redid my whole bathroom. I thought they were just going to do the
Dormitory number 2,
upgrades.
for all the common
The
folk like
surprise
us.
to me was they paid
Yeah.
off the entire mortgage.
I guess so,
But
huh?
they told me they're
I'm
going
kind
to
of
pay off.
shocked that Class 7 gets to have its own dormitory.
Cried.
Though, to be fair, I think that building was
Please
abandoned
visit
until this year.
t2t.org.
Seems like they renovated it just for us.
You can't watch and listen. Get the
Oh, they
latest
did a good
news,
job.
business and
It's got a nice feel to it. I just wish it were a little closer to the academy.
Hey,
You're in our way.
is listening.
Step aside.
Were those questions given to you by the White House, or did you have for the campaign, or did you have to submit questions ahead of this interview?
The questions were sent to me for approval. I approved of them.
Okay, so
Is
the
something
White
the
House
matter?
sent the questions to
You're
you
just a
ahead of the
ragtag
interview.
bunch of nobodies.
Yes, I got several questions, 8 of them, and
Yes,
the 4 that
Patrick,
were chosen
a word of
that I
advice.
approved.
You might be part of a
So that's a Philadelphia
special
radio
class,
host who
but that
interviewed
doesn't
President
change who
Biden
you
after
are.
his disastrous
Never
debate.
forget your place.
There she is revealing the president's team provided pre-approved list of questions.
This is more in the mainstream media questioned its ability to serve.
So they're one of the upper classes. This is why I hate talking to them.
Tommy, what does this tell you about
Unfortunately,
Joe
that
Biden?
attitude is all
Well,
too
first of all,
common
this
among
is
the
nothing
nobles.
new.
Thank
The
goodness
fact that
Laura
we're
and Lucis
reporting
aren't
this
like
like
that.
this is breaking news that the Biden administration,
that
the
would be pretty
Biden White
bad.
House hands out pre-approved questions to pre-approved reporters.
That's the
This is not
infamous
something that's
dormitory
just
number
happened in the
1,
last
where all the nobility
debate.
lives.
This has been happening for years. I remember Sage Steele came out when she said,
It's
I was at
supposed to be
ESPN,
super
they
fancy
sent me a
inside,
pre-approved
with
list,
maids
everything
and
was very
butlers and
manipulated,
everything.
very curated, couldn't go off script.
Wow,
So
really?
now that we're acting like, well, he had a bad debate, so now they're really trying to coddle him. No, this has been a years-long process in the making,
that's our cue
and
to
the
pick up
media
the
is
pace.
just now
Yeah,
deciding that they want to pull back the layers,
Oh,
maybe
hey,
pull back
have
the
you
smoke
picked out a club
screen,
to join
and
yet?
show this for
Doesn't
what it
sound like
really
you
is.
have to
So
or
CNN
anything,
asking
but
this
it's probably
question
a
like
good
this
way
is
to meet
somehow
people.
breaking news we've never heard before. I don't see
Well,
the scandal because this
still
has been a
looking.
years-long
It's
scandal
hard to
in the
decide
making.
on
The
one.
scandal is actually the way the media treated it before this moment, right? So what does it reveal to you? I mean, in the Mafia, I think they determine they've got to hit out on somebody. I mean, is this the media? They've got to hit out now on Joe Biden? Like, why now? What does it tell you they're willing to tell the truth?
We were talking about this last night on Big Weekend Show, but for me, there's no way to put this genie back in the bottle. When you have mainstream media who has spent your entire administration, and every Democrat administration, especially with his boss, Barack Obama, shielding and coddling Joe, and now they've turned on him, how do you put that genie back in the bottle? How do you then go and say, no, he's fine, and how do you return back to that normalcy of protecting him? You can't. They've decided they're done with Joe, they have thrown him under the bus, and now they're putting the pressure on to get him to drop out, to resign, to make some kind of a move. And they're not going to let up now that they've started. There's blood in the water, being that it's Shark Week and all, and the journalists, they smell that blood in the water, and they're not going to let up.
So their part of the Biden campaign gave a statement, I believe the New York Post, that says, interview hosts have always been free to ask whatever questions they please. Moving forward, we will refrain from offering suggested questions. I mean, they're trying to kind of gloss over it like it's just standard operating procedure. But obviously that's not the case.
Tom, you're big on California and Governor Gavin Newsom. He is standing by Joe Biden. He's being asked.
No, he's not standing by. He is standing by on the ready and waiting is what he's doing. So there's a double meaning to that.
I know you know baseball, Tom. He's like a relief pitcher. He doesn't wait in the bullpen. He's right there on next to the mound. He's ready for the call whenever it comes. Here's what he had to say about whether he will run if it did, though, go to an open
who began to rally forces from the
No, that's not even, absolutely not. That's not even, to me, it's the hypothetical that gets in the way of progress in terms of promoting this candidacy. And I think it's exactly where Trump and everyone else is a legit question, but it's exactly where the other party wants us to be, is having this internal fight. And I think it's extraordinarily unhelpful.
And father of the Renaissance.
Here's a question on this. So, I think even I disagree on this a little bit. I don't think it's Gavin Newsom, even if Joe Biden removes himself from the race. I think they don't have a choice.
This very academy.
If Gavin Newsom is, as you think, and many people think, really trying to get that nomination, why is he doing these other things? Why is he being so openly supportive when Mark Warner and others are saying, hey, it's time for you to drop out?
Now,
He's supportive because he wants to be the next in line. He wants Joe to look at him as somebody who's been a loyal ally to him, not somebody who's ambitious. So he's been going around for the last year or more in a shadow campaign for Joe Biden. But he wants to be the likely person. And I want to point to that clip because I wish we had a body language expert. But to me, whenever he's answering questions about what he's going to do next, he never looks at the reporter. He kind of looks in the air and his eyes dart all around. He was asked also about Kamala being the next in line, and he once again, it's insulting to even ask that, but he didn't say the first black woman president, if that's the route we're going to go, I'm cheering her on. He wouldn't go that far, because again, I'm still clinging to my theory it's going to be Gavin Newsom. He wouldn't be out campaigning for Joe if he didn't have ambitions.
Joe Biden did tell us that he was the first black president interview.
Well, there's a lot of things going on there.
He said a lot of things.
He said a lot of things.
I noticed that too, Tommy, that I found his lack of an endorsement of Kamala Harris in any way actually notable. It's one thing to stand by Joe Biden, it's another thing not to stand by Kamala Harris.
Right.
And so I do think if it was thrown to an open convention, Gavin Newsom would be right in the middle of it.
But remember when he visited, Joe Biden was overseas and Gavin Newsom was at the White House?
He was looking at the decorations, deciding how he was going to make his mark on that White House. Listen, guys, I've been saying it for 2 years,
everyone.
and it's getting closer
You
than
made it
ever.
through
It's
another
going to be
grueling day of classes.
Brace yourselves. Gird
In
your
case you're
loins.
living under a rock, please don't forget that tomorrow is your first free day. It's not technically a day off, but there are no classes, so it's up to you what to do with your time. Why, you could go shopping in the Capitol if you wanted to. Let's do what I do, sleep all day.
Early yesterday morning in Maryland. Jackson, a Maryland native, had just been drafted by the team a couple of months ago.
Yes, I'd like to be able to use the free study area in the library myself.
I am absolutely
This school
crushed
shuts
by
down
this
for
news.
no
My
one,
heart goes
so
out to
feel free
Kyra's
to
family,
patronize any and all
friends,
facilities if you
teammates,
like.
and coaches.
A lot of
Police are
clubs have
still
meets scheduled for
investigating.
these free days as well, so anyone who's
The lead
going once should
investigator in
probably check
Karen
on
Reed's
that.
murder case is facing a
I'll be
hearing
certain
tomorrow.
to do so.
State Trooper
Also,
Michael
before
before you
Walker
leave, we
was
should go over what's
relieved of
happening
duty
next
just
week.
hours after
On
the Reed's
Wednesday, you
trial
all
ended
have
in
your
a hung
practical
jury.
exam.
During the trial, he admitted to sending inappropriate texts
What
about
does that entail exactly?
during the
It's part of your
investigation.
combat training.
State police could
You'll be
decide to
graded on
suspend
your
Proctor
performance, so
with
make sure
or
you're
without
well
pay.
rested and ready
The
for battle by
prosecution
then.
plans to
It might be a good
retrial
idea to do
Reed,
some
who's accused
training
of
on your
running
own
over
time
her
too,
police officer
just to keep
boyfriend
from
with
getting
her
rusty.
car in 2022.
Interesting.
Louisiana charter captain and his guests make an unexpected catch, reeling in this 6-foot bull shark in fresh
and one
water.
more
The
thing.
captain joining
After
us
the
earlier.
practical exam is over, I've got another
You know, obviously it was a
announcement
miracle that we even got
about
this
a
thing to the
major
boat.
part of Class 7's
But yeah,
curriculum
you
that
know, it was
I
just pumping and constant reeling.
haven't mentioned at all
Finally,
yet.
the fin broke the surface, and we were all just in shock. We were like, "There's no way that this is a bull shark cranking on in a good
Whatever
while."
you choose to
We
do on
spread
your free
the net.
day,
Finally, she
make it
swam into
count
the
for
bed,
something.
gotten around it, put it in the boat. We all started high fiving and
That
celebrating.
concludes today's homeroom.
Yeah, it
Watch
took
this,
us on
if you'll do the honors.
swimming in the lake.
Yes,
but
instructor.
now, he's going to think twice. You know,
All
sharks
rise.
be lurking
Bow.
in those waters. I would stay away myself. And those are your headlines. I have lost enough limbs. I can give sharks a chance.
But in a way, though, you can consider yourself safe. You can wait out. Other people have to be worried.
That's exactly
So
right.
my brother used to grab my leg and pull me under when I was a attack, so like I was a little bit prepared.
Yeah, if you see any toothless sharks out there, it's because I was wading in the water. All right, experts sounding the alarm over a malicious cyber attack reportedly targeting more than 1 billion iPhones.
Heard the cyber guy had is what you need to know to protect your device. We all need fiber for our digestive health, with less than 10% of us getting up each day. Good thing Metamucil gummies are an easy way to get prebiotic plant-based fiber with the same amount of fiber as 2 cups of broccoli. Metamucil gummies, the easy way to get your daily fiber.
When it comes to choose a sleep every smart day, I need help with this. Sleep Number does that. Thank you. Check the lowest price of the season. Free home delivery. Thanks to Sleep Number smart bed starting at $9.99. Learn more at sleepnumber.com.
Most guys get serious eye patches, but most guys don't do anything about it because most guys don't really understand skin. They think it's too expensive and they don't believe anything actually works. But here's the thing. Most guys are wrong because there are actually 2 ways to reduce your eye bags, and one of the easiest part of the 6-in-1 face cream actually works really well. And most guys actually can afford it. Because it's 6-in-1 formula means you're getting 6 products at the 2 Just wash your face and then massage in particle 30 seconds. Before you know it, you're looking younger than, well, most guys. But forget about most guys. Just be you. And younger version. You can order right now at partofmen.com. We've got free shipping in the United States plus 30-day money-back guarantee.
We all know what it's like to worry, to not know where our dog is gone. Say goodbye to that with Tractive. Follow every step and find your dog in no time. Save 30% for a limited time.
At Consumer Cellular, we pride ourselves on giving you fast, reliable, nationwide coverage at up to half the cost of the leading carriers. But don't worry, we've got more than that going for us.
New customers who buy any phone get 2 months of service free when you sign up by July 31st. Call or go online to switch today.
When you can't watch, listen. Get the latest news, business, and news headlines on SiriusXM anytime, anywhere. Fox News Audio on SiriusXM. America is listening. This is a story. Get together with friends and family. Remember to ride. Reducing their driving behavior. Because the ride starts with you. It starts with a designated driver and a kitchen. Offer gas, non-alcoholic drinks. What you call bread, pick at you. And at the corner when you pass the last bus. In the cooking room with a simple, please please, or unlimited when you decide to stay overnight. However you ride. Thanks for tuning in to
Welcome back. Tech experts are sounding the alarm about a malicious cyber attack reportedly targeting the personal data of more than 8 billion iPhone users around the world. The security firm Symantec uncovered this scam, which involves fake text messages that trick users into handing over their Apple ID information and with it, take control of their phone. Kurt, the cyber guy, is here with more on it. I mean, Kurt, this sounds like something anyone could easily fall for.
And they are. Lisa, good morning to you. We're talking about some July 4th fireworks left over. Really being pointed at those who have iPhones. That's 1.4 billion people around the world. The scam will appear as a text, or in one case, an email from somebody pretending to be an Apple representative. And what they do is they encourage you to tap a link to receive some kind of important message about iCloud. Well, this link sends you to a fake Apple site where Apple's victims are entering in their Apple ID credentials, which, as you may know, unlocks all kinds of things for access, including Apple Pay if you've got that set up on your phone. Good antivirus security protection can disable these kinds of threats. There are 3 things I want you to do about this. Number 1, if you didn't ask for it, don't click it. Number 2, if you really want to have your phone protected, turn on two-factor authentication. I'll show you how to do that on the website if you don't know if you've got that on or not. Number 3, the most important thing, the bell I always ring. If at this point in life, with the stuff that's coming at us, you don't have antivirus protection on all your devices, be it a Mac, a PC, an iPhone, an iPad, a tablet, an Android, you're being foolish. You've got to get protection. We've got a review of the best for 2024 online. You can look at them all, see what might be worth for you to get into, because threats like these are really just going to keep coming at us.
I mean, I think so many of us have one of these in our wrist, so we're going to have to follow those tips. I also want to get to No Place. So what is it? Tell us about it. This is the first I'm hearing of it.
All right, so you remember MySpace, right? So MySpace was an earlier social, of course, everybody was. It was very colorful and expressive, but it was really before the era of sharing photos and videos as much. It was a way to just express yourself, like having, I don't know, like decorating your locker at school. Well, NoPlace is now a matchup of the sort of Twitter and MySpace for Gen Z. It's hitting number 1 in the App Store. So parents, if you want to know what your kids are doing, this is what they're doing right now. It just went public earlier in the week. And it's an interesting way to communicate. You got sort of 2 feeds coming at you. One are your existing friends that you're connecting with and see their updates and for you to update them. But then there's this whole other one that's coming at you, a feed of just sort of general feed of what might be your interest. So and that's the place I want parents to say, well, how do I dial up the privacy on this one? That's the problem. Well, at No Place, there's really no good privacy settings as of yet. So parents should be aware that that exists. So for very little ones, make sure whatever device the little ones may be using, even if it's yours for a brief moment, that those parental controls are turned on. So you'll find that as well at my website, cyberguy.com.
I feel like being a parent today has got to be hard with all this technology. You have to stay on top of it. But good thing we've got you to stay on top of it for us. So Kurt, Cyber Guy, always good to see you. Have a great Sunday. Appreciate it. All right, coming up, a jam-packed final hour of Fox and Friends. Don't move. Stay with us.
Can Sugar Ray Leonard do everyday tasks wearing boxing gloves? How did Bird and not putting on his new Archfit Skechers slip-ins? You just step in and go with comfort that will knock you out. Try new Archfit hands-free Skechers slip-ins.
In Chicago, we're known for our creativity, and this could be our best creation yet. NASCAR, right on the streets of Chicago.
Every day, more dog people and more vets are deciding it's time for a fresh approach to pet food. They're quitting the kibble and kicking the cans and feeding their dogs dog food that's actually, well, food. Developed with vets, made from real meat and veggies, portioned for your dog, and delivered right to your door. It's smarter, healthier pet food. Get 50% off your first box at thefarmersdog.com/realfood.
It's no product I find very versatile, very affordable, very clean to install. You get the same finished look of stone product. I think it's a fantastic product, and I don't see stone back to the traditional stone method.
Gemstone is DIY friendly, goes from box to the wall in minutes, and can be used for any project inside or out. Text BOX to 59583 to get your discount code and save up to 50% off a real stone.
Here at Allegiance Flag Supply, we grew sick and tired of flying flags that were made overseas, flags that would rip and tear easily, so we really need a commitment to quality. All of our flags are finished with bar tacking at all the stress points, and they're sewn using double needle oxygen.
All of our flag materials are sourced in America, and they are made by American businesses. We're American made from beginning to end.
Shop now at showallegiance.com.
When things go sideways, will you be prepared? I want to introduce you to the Patriot Power Generator 2000X. Use the endless free power of the sun to power lights, your TV, medical equipment, even run your fridge. And that's without gas, fumes, or noise. Go to 4patriots.com. You'll get a solar panel included free, double the capacity, expandable for more power, and more outlets than ever. This is about peace of mind. Get your solar generator and free panel at 4patriots.com.
At Mint Mobile, we like to do the opposite of what Big Wireless does. They charge you a lot, we charge you a little. They put their names on our meters, we put ours on my lower back. So naturally, when they announced that you raised their prices due to inflation, we decided to deflate our prices due to not paying. Because for one of their ads, they've ended here with a happy customer. So we'll end out with an angry.
Sometimes omega-3 fish oil supplements can be difficult to absorb. I recommend $2 Advanced Omega-3. With phospholipid-bound omegas, up to 10 times better bioavailability. $2 Advanced Omega-3, the power of 10x.
I was on a work trip when their embolism happened. But because I have 23andMe, I was aware of that gene. That saved my life.
My hair is thinning all around my hairline.
Dermatologist recommended Nutrafol. It's 100% drug-free and clinically tested.
My hair is longer, thicker.
Nutrafol is life-changing.
Get growing at Nutrafol.com.
If you're shopping for a home, Realtor.com's Real Commute tool lets you find homes close to work, school, even grandma's house.
Don't all apps do that?
Not really. Trust the #1 app real estate professionals trust.
It's the 9 a.m. hour of Fox Press Weekend, starting with this Fox weather alert. Texas already feeling the impact of Beryl. Rick tracks the map before it makes landfall tomorrow.
Plus, the eyes of the world are on President Biden this week as he
Save this.
leaders after 2 very rough weeks. NATO Secretary General Jens Stoltenberg on the president's standing on the world stage.